Rain tapped softly against the windows of the small café as Daniel, a quiet single father, sat across from a nervous woman who couldn't seem to meet his eyes. Her name was Lily. Her hands trembled slightly as she wrapped them around a warm cup of tea. "I should tell you the truth before this goes any further," she whispered. Daniel listened calmly. Lily took a deep breath and forced a small, sad smile. "I'm not fit for any man." The words hung in the air. Most people would have asked questions immediately. Some would have quietly ended the conversation. Lily clearly expected that reaction, because she slowly began reaching for her coat. But Daniel didn't move. Instead, he gently pushed the tea closer to her and said something she never expected to hear. "Who told you that?" Lily blinked in surprise. "My past," she said softly. "My mistakes, the people who walked away." Daniel leaned back slightly, thinking for a moment. Then he spoke with a calm honesty that carried no judgment. "You know," he said, "my daughter once told me she broke her favorite toy, so she thought I wouldn't love her anymore." Lily looked up, confused. Daniel smiled gently. "But that's not how love works." For the first time that evening, Lily's guarded expression cracked. Because Daniel didn't see a broken woman. He saw someone who had simply been told the wrong story about herself. And without realizing it, Lily was about to discover that one simple act of kindness could change the way she saw her entire life. Lily stared at Daniel, unsure how to respond to his quiet confidence. Most people in her life had judged her long before she could explain anything. Yet this man, a stranger she had only met minutes ago, looked at her as if her past didn't scare him at all. "You don't understand," she said softly. "I've made too many mistakes." Daniel didn't interrupt. He simply listened. "That's what people always say," she continued. "But when they hear the whole story, they leave." For a moment, the sound of rain filled the silence between them. Finally Daniel spoke. "My daughter Emma is 7, he said gently. "When her mother left, Emma thought it was her fault." Lily's eyes widened slightly. "She believed she wasn't good enough to make someone stay." Daniel continued. "It took me a long time to help her understand that someone leaving doesn't mean you're unworthy." Lily swallowed hard. "No one ever told me that," she whispered. Daniel leaned forward slightly, his voice calm but firm. "People who carry pain often think they're the problem," he said. "But sometimes, they were just surrounded by the wrong people." Lily felt something shift inside her chest. For years she had believed the harsh words others had spoken about her. Words that slowly became the truths she told herself every day. "I ruined every relationship I've ever had," she admitted quietly. Daniel smiled gently, not mocking, not dismissing, just understanding. "Or," he said, "maybe those relationships simply weren't meant to last." Lily looked at him carefully. For the first time in a long time, someone wasn't trying to fix her. He was simply reminding her that she wasn't broken. And somehow, that simple kindness felt more powerful than anything she had heard before. Lily looked down at the table, tracing the edge of her cup with her finger. "You don't know everything," she said quietly. "If you did, you might change your mind." Daniel gave a small, patient smile. "Maybe. But you should still tell your story." She hesitated. Then, slowly, the truth began to spill out. "I grew up believing I had to prove my worth to everyone," Lily explained. "So I stayed in relationships that hurt me. I tolerated things I should have walked away from." Her voice trembled slightly. "One of them ended badly. Really badly." Daniel's expression didn't change. "He told me I was difficult to love," Lily continued. "That no good man would ever want someone like me." She paused, expecting Daniel to look uncomfortable. But he didn't. Instead, he asked softly, "Do you believe him?" The question caught her off guard. I used to," she admitted. Daniel nodded slowly, as if he understood exactly how heavy those words must have been. "You know something strange?" he said after a moment. Lily looked up. "People who say things like that are usually trying to hide their own failures." She frowned slightly. "What do you mean?" Daniel shrugged lightly. If someone treats you badly, it's easier for them to blame you than to admit they were the one who failed. The simplicity of his words made Lily's chest tighten. No one had ever explained it like that before. You're very calm about all this, she said carefully. Daniel chuckled softly. When you raise a child alone, he replied, you learn something important. What's that? He looked at her kindly. Everyone deserves patience. Especially people who were never given any. The cafe had grown quieter as the evening passed. Most of the customers had left, but Daniel and Lily were still sitting there, talking like two people who had known each other for years. Lily felt something unfamiliar inside her. Safety. So why are you really here? She asked him suddenly. Daniel raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? You're a single father, she said. You seem kind, stable, someone who has his life together. She hesitated before continuing. You could meet anyone. Daniel smiled softly. That's what people assume, he said. Lily tilted her head curiously. But the truth is, Daniel continued, being a single parent changes how you see people. How? I don't look for perfection anymore, he explained. I look for honesty. Kindness. Someone who understands what it means to keep going after life knocks you down. Lily felt her throat tighten. You think that describes me? She asked quietly. Daniel didn't hesitate. I think you're someone who survived things that could have hardened your heart, he said. But somehow, you're still gentle. Lily blinked quickly, trying to hide the sudden emotion in her eyes. No one had ever described her that way. For years she had been called complicated, damaged, difficult. Yet here was a man who saw strength where others saw flaws. You're very strange, she said with a weak laugh. Daniel laughed too. Emma says the same thing about me. Lily smiled. And in that moment she realized something unexpected. For the first time in years, she wasn't thinking about all the reasons she wasn't good enough. She was wondering if maybe, just maybe, someone could see her differently. Lily stared at Daniel for a long moment, her heart racing with emotions she couldn't fully explain. I'm scared, she admitted. Daniel nodded gently. That's normal. What if you're wrong about me? She asked quietly. He smiled in a way that felt both warm and certain. Then we'll figure it out together. The simplicity of his answer made Lily laugh softly through her tears. You make it sound so easy. It's not easy, Daniel replied. But the right people don't walk away when things get complicated. For years Lily had been convinced that love was something fragile, something that disappeared the moment she showed her flaws. But Daniel didn't seem afraid of those flaws. Can I tell you something honest? He asked. She nodded. When you said you weren't fit for any man, Daniel said, I didn't believe you for a second. Lily raised an eyebrow. Why not? Daniel chuckled lightly. Because people who care about hurting others usually have the biggest hearts. His words settled gently into her chest, breaking apart years of self-doubt. Outside, the rain had stopped. The clouds were slowly clearing, letting soft evening light spill through the cafe windows. Daniel stood up and reached for his coat. I should get home, he said. Emma will probably be waiting with 100 questions. Lily smiled. As they walked toward the door, she paused for a moment. Daniel? He turned. Thank you for not seeing me the way I see myself. Daniel's smile was calm and sincere. Sometimes, he said softly, we all need someone to remind us who we really are. And for the first time in years, Lily walked out into the night feeling lighter, like maybe her story wasn't broken after all.